25, we're looking for you to line up now, please. Stock 25, tractors and drivers, please line up. Track 1, green sled. Distance for Owen, 127.19. Nice job for Owen. I think we've got a John Deere coming up next in the youth class. We sure do. The Big Bad John, driven by Joe Babby. All right, I think we're done with stock ordered now. I don't think Donnie's coming back. So we're going to be going to the stock 25 class. The Big Bad John. He is leaning into it. It's nice to see these kids getting into it. All right, 149.82, 149.82. All right, so that was Donnie, right? Donnie Norris with a 188.12. He was the one that had a mechanical issue there a little bit ago. And he came back to a second place. So in stock ordered, we had Larry Johnson taking the top spot with 217.76. Donnie Norris with a 188.12. And Gage Martin on Optimus Prime at 181.25. Next up in the youth class, this is Jesse Caudle. Oh, no, wait a minute. That doesn't look like Jesse. So I'm not sure who that is. Find out who that is here in a minute. Stock 25's lining up with the green sled. That's our missing one. That's Addison Ewing. Oh no, Memphis Knight. Memphis Knight. That's Memphis. We got it. All right. 160.29. I think that's our leader here at the moment. Got quite a few more to go here in the youth class, but that's definitely a good hook. Stock 25, Lawson Leaper, hooking up to the green sled. So these are stock tractors, but more horsepower, bigger rear tire, 25 horsepower, 4,000 RPM, 26-inch rear tire. Compared to the youth class tires, those are 23-inch. So definitely got a bigger tire on the stock 25s, more power, put a little bit more power to the ground. All right, here comes Lawson Leaper, first hook, stock 25. These guys are moving a little faster. All right, he is first hook, has the option to keep this hook, or he can drop and come back. So I'm seeing a thumbs down here from the crew chief for the Lawson Leaper pulling team, so we're going to drop that and come back. He was going along in a pretty good spell too, 9.3 miles per hour. He was laying it down. Okay, Jesse Caudle should be up next on Hot Rod. That's a wheel horse. Over there on track 2. There he goes. 16 horsepower, single cylinder, 4,000 RPM. Those are belt drive. Belt driven transmissions on the wheel horses. Hey, look at that, 166.83, 5.7 miles per hour. That is moving along at a good lick for a stock 16 tractor, almost 6 miles an hour. That's a sharp looking wheel horse, I gotta say. All right, Paul Mulfair coming up, stock 25, coming up the track now. He's at the town Pennsylvania area. Sets the mark, 191.76. We got a little over, we got about 14 more tractors in the stock 25 class to run here. And while we're getting that sled reset, we have Emmett Daub on pulling weight on a wheel horse. Another young guy. Getting his feet wet here in the pulling. Cup Cadet. Working his way up the track. He's putting some body English into it. He's working it. Nice hook. 156.07. Nice hook for that young man. Okay. Green sled on track 1 should be Sierra Art. Hot Mess Express is the name of her tractor. Got to be in the 190s, it looks like, for stock 25. 192.94, 7.5 per hour. Okay, good hook for her. Back it in next. Over on. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, so Bobby Penwell on his Cub Cadet in the youth class. Bobby Penwell. That's a narrow frame Cub. Good looking Cub. And there we go. What do we got? 144.07 for Bobby. And then this should be Nathan Black on Code Red. That's a twin cylinder owned and powered spread frame Cub Cadet. He's up on the wheel. 182.17 for Nathan Black. If I think right, those two hooks, one was an uncle and one was a nephew. Yeah, pulling at the same time. How about that? Talk about a family sport. Yeah, uncle and nephew at the same time. That's pretty cool. Chase Miller with the red helmet, getting up down there behind the orange sled. He's a youth driver. Blue, yeah, the blue Cub he calls it. Chase Miller. Got one lining up to the green sled, and it's a matching colored tractor, it looks like. Yeah. Extreme green. Extreme green. Is that McCoy? McCoy. I got to name McCoy for that one. Got one name. So here we go. Stock 16 and a stock 25. He did a good job keeping in between the lines. Once he'd hit that white line with the tractor tire, he'd have been disqualified. So he did what he needed to do to keep it in. 156.17 for McCoy on the extreme green. Then you're looking at Chase Miller, right around the same distance as the other track, 155.80. This stock 25 clip is going to be up in the top. You're going to have to be in the 190s. We got a 191 and a 192 distance right now. So far in the youth class, going to have to be in the 160s. Okay, John Copsey coming down the track now. The new sheriff in town, and the new sheriff is going to restart. Something happened there on him. Now, over on the youth class track, that's a wheel horse. Jackson Cotto on Wild Willie. Wild wheelie. Let's see if he pulls a wheelie at the end. 160.68. Good run for that young man. Okay. Second to John Copsey. .51, 189.51. That'll slip him into about the third spot right now, but we're just in the middle of that field of tractors in the stock 25 class. We're going to be looking for another flagman to help after stock 25. We're going to need a flag after stock 25, please. If you can help out for a class or two while Pro Stock's going on. Pro Stock will be up next after stock 25. So if you haven't seen one of those before, you're going to want to see these Pro Stock tractors coming up. Those will be the highest horsepower, open RPM single cylinders we have here tonight. And in addition to those, tractors also running Super Stock, but we'll get to those. Next up in the youth class, Oakley Maughan. Oakley Maughan. And I believe that's a Cub Cadet also. It's called Bullheaded. She's working her way up the track. Jimmy Stauffer. Barbara Zand is the name of this tractor. .189.56, 189.56, knocking on that 190-foot mark. Leaders are at 191 and 192. So they are close. They are close, but not quite taking over the top spot. So the youth class there, we got Oakley Maughan went 125.89. Next youth class driver, backing in with a Cub Cadet, looks like wearing a teal shirt. That's Callie Norris. Got a lot of lady drivers in the youth class here today. That's great to see. I would imagine some of these youth class drivers are going to come back here later this evening and try their luck again against the adults. The youth class drivers have an option to run in their youth class only class, and then they can also run against the adults. So that'll be coming up here later. Kelby Warren Phelps is backing into the green sled. Callie Norris with a distance of 153.82, 153 feet. Kelby Warren Phelps pulling the green sled. All right, Kelby's distance, 159.76. All right, got a wheel horse on the youth track. Looks like that's John Sowers. John Sowers on a wheel horse called the Traveler. He is leaning into it. You can do that on the garden tractors. You can lean back, lean to the side. Good hook. 132.36. All right. Blue tractor with the green sled. PJ Daly. Daly Destruction, he calls it. Warm up, stop before the 75-foot restart line. He's going to get pulled back and get one more attempt. Did not like something there, so. All right, PJ's off again. There we go, 199.11. You know who the leader is now. Good hook. Okay, back on the youth track. Parker Wright. That is a case tractor, or he calls it a case cadet. He's leaning into it. Looks like that's got some case sheet metal, maybe on a Cub Cadet chassis. 137.24. You know these kids are having fun out there. Getting the chance to come out to the fair. Drive a tractor in front of everybody up here. Backing in next to the green sled, Austin Weister on Command. All right, so Austin Weissner. Tractor name is Command. There he goes. Good hook, 190.48. Got a wheel horse coming up the other side. That's Pierce Dunham. Little bit later model wheel horse. Early 80s model, I believe. That might be a twin cylinder. Twin cylinders are allowed 16 horsepower or less, and I think that's what he has there. Could be a 14, could be a 16 horse. As long as they're not over 16 horsepower. All right, green sled. Jessica Jennings. On red. Pretty red. Newer model spread frame Cub Cadet. 25 horsepower. These are twin cylinders. All twin cylinders should be in this class that I know of. Mostly single cylinders in the youth class. And that's going to be Trent Dunham. Trent Dunham in the blue tractor. Nice hook. 190.15. That was Jessica Jennings. Trent Dunham on the Mudslinger. Pro Stock tractors will be next after Stock 25. Pro Stock tractors next after Stock 25. And Stock 20 tractors will be up after youth on track 2, the orange sled. Corbin Chauvert, looks like is who we have up next. And that looks like a wheel horse, a red wheel horse backing into the green sled, stock 25. Not sure what kind of engine setup is in that. Could be a 25 horse twin cylinder. Yeah, it's a twin cylinder. I hear it. Youth class drive is Chase Miller. Chase in red, backing in. All right, we got a distance there for Corbin, a 163.56. 163.56. .59 youth class side. That's Chase Miller. Stock 25 backing in to the green sled now is Tyler Hawk. Cub Cadet he calls corn fed. Maddie Rinker in the pit area. Maddie Rinker in the pit area. Please report to the announcer stand. All right, Tyler Hawk's distance, 179.65, 179.65. Again, he's on the stock 25 horsepower side. We got 4 more in that class to go, and then we're going to pro stock. Big guys are coming out here next on track 1. Addison Ewing on a tractor called Team. That's a 4. We got a Ford in the class. All right. .165.72. Nice hook. Carter Leeper. Carter Leeper's on a green Cub Cadet coming up here next. All right, who do we got next here? This should be Eve Seiler. Eve Seiler. And then Carter Leeper and the green tractor. Okay, so we got a distance for Eve of 132.07, and Carter Leeper went 190.15. Still holding down top spot in stock 25 at the moment is PJ Daly at 199.11. Now let's see who's up next. Ray Mon on the shed sitter. Looks like that's a John Deere, I believe. Backing in, green tractor, green sled. Backing into the orange sled should be Addison Ewing on Geraldine. And this will wrap up our youth class. And then we're gonna, if you're in the stock 20 horsepower class, You should be lined up and getting ready. Stock 20 horse. Sorry. That's okay. Garrett, stock 20 coming up. Garrett Shover, Jake Norris, Kelby Warrenfeldt. Top 3 in the lineup. All right, Raymond went 140.4. Nice hook for her. 162.57, 162.57.
You can't walk on a track like that.
Dustin DeWalt, and then next he's on a tractor called the Warthog. And then Lawson Leaper. Oh, he was our first hook. He dropped. He's coming back. That'll finish. That'll be our last 2 in stock 25. All right, right up in there, 193.48, 193.48, good hook. Lawson Leaper. Coming up next, okay, for the youth class. At 166.83 on the hot rod wheel horse, I believe that's Jesse Caudle. Second place, Addison Ewing on Jolene at 165.72. Third place, Addison Ewing on Geraldine at 162.57. She was first hook and dropped and came back. So this should be Garrett Shover, I think, over here. I want to make sure that's Garrett Shover, that we didn't miss anybody. Fourth place in the youth class, Jackson Caudle on Wild Wheelie. And fifth place, Chase Miller, chasing red at 160. All right, over there on track 2, is that that's our first tractor in stock 20, right? Okay, all right, so he's keeping that. Okay, we were starting off with Lawson Leaper. He was our first puller, dropped and came back, and I guess we're gonna, he stopped it before the start line, so they're gonna pull him back and let him go again. All right, so that should be Jake Norris. Nice hook, 198.46. If he made a couple changes to that tractor and he dropped and came back, he made a good call on that one. So we'll give you the rundown in stock 25 here in just a second. Okay, so Jake Norris's distance for there was 152.98. He was on the blue tractor. Coming in next on the orange sled, Kelby Warren fell on the Stinger. That is the white and yellow Cub Cadet backing into the orange sled. These are 20 horsepower or less, small tire, which is 23-inch rear tire, 4,000 RPM or less. And now you're going to see them adjusting the weight box on the green sled because Pro Stock tractors are coming up next. These are some of the big boys. One 162.34. After on track 2, which is the orange sled, next class will be open. We'll have the open class, and that'll be followed by first heat of stock 16. First heat of up after the open. Okay, so Pro Stock tractors, that'll be coming up next. You'll see them starting down here. We're going to start with Doug Deal on a tractor called Exclusive. These are the big carburetor restricted single cylinder open RPM stretched out wheelbase cut tire modified single cylinder tractors coming up next on the green sled. The stock 25 class that just finished on that same green sled. Top spot went to PJ Daly on the Blue Cub Cadet Daily Destruction 199.11. Second place was the rehook by Lawson Leaper 198.46. Third place Dustin DeWalt 193.48. Fourth place goes to Sierra Arndt at 192.94 and Paul Mulfair in fifth at 191.76. John Deere Power, Rick Stauffer, 204.29. There's your leader, 204.29. So they reset the sled and weight box on the green sled, getting it figured back out here. These tractors, these Pro Stock tractors are going to go a lot faster, they're a lot louder, and take a lot more weight in the sled box to slow them down. Next up on track 2, that stock 20 is going to be Jesse Caudle on Double Trouble. Backing in. I think that looks like a purple color from here. Multicolored. Red? That's red? Looks like a wheel horse hood, doesn't it? Okay. Pro Stock, you guys are up. Pro Stock, Doug Deal, Logan Cessna, Carter Leaper. Nice job. 192.23. 192.23. Those wheel horse tractors have a belt. They are belt drive. So they have a belt from the crankshaft pulley on the side of the engine block running down along the right side footwell down to the transmission to a rear pulley that goes into the transmission shaft and transmission gears on those wheel horses. You're going to be able to see that pulley spinning around with that front belt off the crankshaft as that wheel horse comes around and heads back there. Okay, top lineup for Pro Stock, we're looking for Doug Deal, Logan Cessna, Carter Leaper, and then Doug Deal. I think they're down there working on it, getting ready. But we're ready on the green sled. Ready on the green sled for Pro Stock. Mark Ahalt on the Dustbuster. Next up in our stock 20 class. Okay, looks like first one up in Pro Stock. That's a Ford. That is not going to be Doug. That's going to be Logan Cessna on Blue Point. All right, Logan Cessna, first hook, Pro Stock. Went up further than I can even see. Let's see what they're going to do. He is the first puller, has the option to keep that hook or come back. And Mark Ahalt on the Dustbuster there, he went 185.27 on the stock 20 class. We got, right now we got Rick Stauffer at 204, Jesse Caudle at 192, and then Mark Ahalt at 185. Corbin Chauvert on Shotgun should be up next. That's a wheel horse backing in over there. Logan is dropping on the Blue Point Ford tractor on the green sled. He is dropping, he's going to come back. Sled set, going to be interesting here with the Pro Stocks. They are going to take them up the hill. Okay, 125.92, 125.92. That's going to be our stock 20. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So Corbin went 125.92, but had a violation out there on the track. Had his fingers out underneath the fender by the tire. Flagman called that, and, so that's a disqualification. Carter Leaper on moving on up. Might have been a little heavy there on the front end. Got a lot of weight hanging out on that weight bar. I didn't see the front end come up. Stopped him short at 174.98. Going to be looking for another flagman here to help us out. If you're back in the pit area, you got some time, going to come out and help us with stock 16 flagging coming up here next. Going to need a hand here very shortly.
Chester, why'd you disqualify the kid?
All right, Doug Deal should be our next pro stock puller coming up. Track 2. The orange sled's looking for the open motorcycle class tractors. Bring them down, bring them down. Open class, 1150. You're up on track 2.
Sir, you're going to have long pants on the track. Sir, you're going to have long pants on the track.
Hey, keep it down up here. How are you doing? Good, man. Good to see you.
I see you trucked along there.
Yeah, he just chugged up here a little ways, so enough to get him out there. So, have some fun. We've been busy. Got all kinds of videos going up.
Yeah, motorcycle open class tractors. You guys are up now, please. Bring them up.
Not like my body.
Some of those.
Yeah, I do that all the day. I call it what I find. Of course, Daddy says, "Oh, I'm jealous." Noise for 3 foot.
Well, let's hope he just popped out of gear and didn't break something.
I know what's wrong with it. You got no gas in it. This phone stays away from the sun.
Yeah. So far we're looking halfway decent. These motorcycles won't be as dusty as however you went down there and the one at
They are.
and they were dusty.
Oh, they're gonna raise dust here. that track was so muddy, and he dried out, and like,
Yeah. That was crazy. It
I
was
mean,
just
they drive down like 30 minutes. And they didn't think they're gonna have full trucks, you know? Yeah, they're lining them up, bro. I'm gonna give me some material to do some replay here.
Yeah.
Instant replay in a minute. And I just got one on the scoreboard for this track. I'm waiting for the sun goes out. Alright. Sorry, dog, that's 2 times. But it's stuff around, but they're far away, so.
Things are moving around.
Monday night, it rained here, but after that, everything's good. This track was bone dry. Monday. And then things ripped it over, plowed it up, and then it poured down rain for 20 minutes. I didn't even have to water it after that.
That worked out pretty good.
All right, motorcycle tractors, here we go. Let's see if that's Zach Knight. Knight, Mark Aholt, Jay Morris, Jeremy Knuckles, Denise Morris, Zach Knight, looking for all you guys, motorcycle tractors. You guys are up.
Get ready to run.
All right, so we're backing in a motorcycle. These are motorcycle
Get ready to run.
engine powered. Wow. I'm not sure how big a motorcycle engine they're running. Probably 750s. We'll see here. He's dropping. Okay.
That's what he was.
We should have. Mark Cessna coming up on Papa Smurf. Hey, Flagman on track 2. Did he drop that? He dropped it, yeah. Yeah, that was a drop. Okay, he's going to come back. Nice hook for Mark. Mark Cessna out of Chambersburg, 185.01. All right, that was Mark Ahalt. Went 168.98 on the orange sled. Open class, motorcycles, and any size engine for that matter. Next up on that open motorcycle side, Jay Morris on a tractor called the King Sling. Meanwhile, Nate Arndt backing in his pro stock to the green sled right now, called the Money Pit. Nate's distance on the pro stock, 217.60, so that's your leader right now. And we had Jay Morris went out to 230.93 on that orange motorcycle tractor. All right, next class up on track 1 is going to be 5,000 single. If you are in the 5,000 governed RPM single cylinder class, please start lining up. Gage Martin, Carter Fox, you guys will be up next after pro. All right, that was Stevie Johnson on the agitator. 237.97. I can't even see the tractor from here. There's your new leader. Driven by Jerry Knuckles, went out of bounds. A little too far over to the right. He is out of bounds on that hook.
sure.
All right.
You're doing a fine job.
We're looking for Dwayne Gregg to back into the green sled on his pro stock.
He's taking a nap.
And next, Denise Morris on Voodoo. The orange tractor matching the orange sled coming up next here. I believe that's the one with a motorcycle engine in it. There comes Dwayne. They're rolling his Cub Cadet out. .20 for Denise. And here comes Dwayne Gregg. Dwayne Gregg, 191.76, 191.76 for Dwayne. Zach Knight. That'll be some of the most RPMs we're going to hear out of anything here tonight, I believe. Man. So that was Zach Knight, 199.90. And needless to say, that thing was screaming. Logan. I got Logan Colton here, the name on this one. This is built for business. Pro stock. Blue tractor on the green sled. Okay, so Denise Morris on the Queen Sling went 2:16:03 on her purple motorcycle powered tractor. There on the orange sled. And Logan Colton on Built for Business went 2:24.73. Right now that's good enough for about second place. So that was a good hook on the Built for Business tractor. Next up in the open class on the orange sled is Jake Phillips on a tractor called the Caterpillar. Open class. Okay, 4-boy class. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Four-boy class, line up please. 4-boy class, line up. You're in track 1. Well, we got a diesel tractor. Jake Phillips. How about that? $11.50 open class and a diesel. A little bit of everything. I'm afraid Doug Deal might have shut that one down. Sometimes these tractors can be finicky, and it looks like something just wasn't happy with that one. So it looks like they shut it down. Next up in the open should be Ben Burker. Ben Burker coming up next, followed by Zach Knight. Stock 16, heat number 1. You guys are up next. Stock 16, heat 1. We're going to start Dylan Warren Feltz, Esden Yeager, Paul Mulfair, Sierra Arndt, Jet Knight, Ross Swan. Need you guys to line up and need a flagger. We're going to need a flagger for the start of stock 16, please. On track 2. And we got another diesel. Snuffed her out a little bit there. Got under the turbo. Can't tell you what about these diesels, but I believe most of them are based off of the 3-cylinder Kubota platform. Okay. Logan Cessna coming back for his rehook on the Blue Point. Okay, so now in this open class with the motorcycles, the diesels, and everything else all running together there, making it really interesting. We got our first puller coming back. That's Zach Knight on his tractor called Pretty Hated for his rehook. And a rehook on the green sled is out of Chambersburg. That's Logan Cessna on the Blue Point. So he broke. All right, Logan Cessna, 227.68. And Zach went 237.33. I think his decision to drop and come back paid off. That's going to give him the top spot. We'll get you a rundown here shortly. $5,000 single cylinder modified class coming up here next on the green sled. That should be Gage Martin coming up, followed by Carter Fox. Yep, Gage Martin, you are up. 5,000 single on the Wild Child. Okay, our first tractor up in stock 16 is going to be Dylan Warrenfeltz on his wheel horse, named the Swamp Donkey. He'll be first puller in stock 16. This could be a class full of, this is the first of two heats in this class. This could be a combination of adults and some youthers that are coming back to run against the adults. So let me give you a state. Third place, Logan Colton, built for business at 224.73. Motorcycle Open class winner, your rehook at the end there on the white motorcycle track, 30.93. And we need a flagger here to start track one. Need a volunteer to help flag now, please, from the pit area. I think we got one. We got one. We got one coming. Okay, we're dropping on the wheel horse there. Okay. Okay. We got it. Thank you. 5,000 single, Gage Martin on the wild shout. Here he comes. Okay, we'll give you a little bit more details on those in a second. Esden Yeager on heat seeking. Cub Cadet up next. This is stock 16, adult class. We're going to see some kids back in this class again. The stock 16 is 16 horsepower or less, 4,000 RPM and under, 23-inch rear tire, cannot weigh more than 1,050 pounds with the driver and tractor combined. Now Gage, on the other hand, at the green sled, that's a modified tractor. That's a stretched frame. They can go out longer than wheelbase, out to a maximum of 52 inches, 5,000 RPM. They can run on methanol or gas. We'll see what the word from Gage and the flagman is on that. We'll get a thumbs up on that, okay. All right, so sled set, Wild Child, 5,000 RPM single, 225.75, and Esden Yeager there on that Cub on the stock 16 class, that's unhooking, went 150.7. Carter Fox on the Lethal Threat coming up next. Nice hook. 230.41. Bumps into the top spot by about 5 feet. But there's one more. And the poor boys should be lined up down there. Poor boy class is coming up next on the green sled, track 1. Poor boys, you need to line up now, please. All poor boys, please line up. Paul Mulfair out of Middletown, Pennsylvania. Next on the midnight special. There, he saw, we didn't get a reading on you. Yeah. You're going to come back last in the class? Yeah, okay. Sounds good. Did not get a reading on the Agtronics digital readout display on that one for Paul. So we're going to let him drop clear to the end, let that cool down, and come back at the end. Gage Martin on his way to a good hook, but I believe that left front might have touched the out of bounds line. It did. So unfortunately, he went out of bounds on that one. He's just disqualified. Optimus Prime. Sometimes those tractors are, you know, you're sitting on that seat on these garden tractors, and sometimes those things are real sensitive. You get over towards that one of those lines, and if that one tire is biting better than the other one, it'll pull you right over towards that out of bound line. There are not separate brakes on these tractors, so they are not equipped with separate brakes. So you drive it a little bit with your body weight, and you've seen that here tonight. They're going to be leaning left to right, leaning back, and that's actually not only to shift some weight to the back, but also to steer these tractors from left to right. They have to lean in the opposite direction of the way they lean in the direction, sorry, of the way they're going to try to bring them back around. Okay, so who do we got next? Sierra Arndt on full force. .154.8, 154.80. Pretty heavy sled on the stalkers there. Getting them around 150 foot. Put a little water on track here before. Okay, so next up on orange, that's going to be Jeff Knight. Just hated his tractor. Man, I hope he don't hate his tractor. You're supposed to love your tractor. There must be something behind that name, but Jet Knight. Young driver. I see him, see that helmet? Hell, he's locking it in, they're up there, he's locking it in gear. Got the chain hooked up to the back of the tractor from the sled, safety kill switch. Getting last minute instructions from the crew chief there. Gas pedal down. There he goes. Oh, something happened to him there. Right before the restart line, so they're going to pull him back. Couldn't tell if there's any problems from here. Hopefully he didn't have his foot on the clutch, slipping the clutch, or maybe it popped out of gear on him, I'm not sure, but he stopped before the restart marker, so he gets another shot. Poor boys, you'll be up with the green sled on track 1. Following some water application, it looks like, coming down the hill here. right. 144.07. Good hook for that young driver. A little bit of water going down here on track 1. We got a few sponsors helping us out with this garden tractor pull. We got a couple signs down here along track 2. Looks like a couple of them. We got DS Olden, D&D Motorsports. What's the third one there, the green one? Circle G Farms, D&W. Is that Cat Metal? Big Tech. We got a few more on down, but I can't quite read those from here, so I want to thank everybody that's helping sponsor and support the garden tractors here at the Franklin County Fair tonight. And thank everybody for coming out to watch. Want to thank the folks down in registration for helping things out. Want to give a shout out to my partner here helping me out, Laura Green, for keeping numbers straight here with me this evening. All right. This is Steve Swan pulling his Cub Cadet 177.26. 177.26. Oh, 27. 177.27. 5.9 mile an hour. How did I mix up a 6 and a 7 there? Yeah. Matty Rinker, are you taking notes down there? Matty Rinker in the pit area. All right, who do we got now? Chester Weldy on the Red Baron Cub Cadet. Chester Weldy. He was flagging here for us a little bit ago. Now it's his turn. (1:46.86). 1:46.86. Water's been applied here to the track with the green sled closest to the stage, and they're running it in. It's going to take a few minutes to run that in here, and then we'll get started on our next class. If I remember right, the Poor Boys class, you heard me calling for Poor Boys class, that's going to be a 12, it should be a 12 horsepower class coming up here next. Got about 10 or 12 in that class. I believe they can run a small cut tire. So they run 12 horsepower, but have a sharpened or cut tire on the back of those, I believe. Mostly run down in West Virginia area. but came up here to run with us this evening. Not too far. We got pullers here from all over the place. Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, all over Pennsylvania here tonight. All right, so Owen Bowers. Owen Bowers should be our next driver up. I believe he was a youth class driver, and he put in another ticket to make a second run here against the adults and see how he can stack up. So here he goes. These stock tractors are the same setup as the youth. That's why they're running together. They are, again, they're 16 horsepower or less. They're RPM restricted at 4,000 maximum. 23-inch rear tire. The tire cannot cut. 10-inch rear hitch height. Got to run wheelie bars. Cannot weigh more than 1,050 pounds with the driver on it. You're allowed to run front weights out there, but you can't be more than 6 feet forward from the center of the rear axle to the weight box out front. And he went 148.72. Nice job for Owen. We're about halfway. We're starting on the second half of our first 16 heat, and then we're going to go to factory stock. So factory stock, guys, you will be up after this heat. So if you are in factory stock, get ready. Liberty DeWalt, our next driver coming up. Okay, good hook for her, 155.35 on that Cub Cadet. Inches matter. Liberty DeWalt. I think that's going to put her into about second right now. Holding second for her at the moment.
You're away.
How are you, Rob?
Good. Song went down, now I'm happy.
Yeah, amen. That was miserable.
bit.
All right, hold on. All right, so this should be Garrett Stevens. You're seeing coming up the track here towards the flagman right now. Finishing out at 143.58. Now down at the green sled, I think I have, I have Ashley down there, right? Ashley Ahalt? Yeah. Okay. Stock 16 back and into the orange sled. Tractor's called the Kohler Express. This is Jimmy Stauffer. Jimmy Stauffer on the Kohler Express. Still working out the track here on the other side a little bit. .07, new leader, 181.07. All right, coming up the track on his Cub Cadet, Bobby Penwell. Nice hook for Bobby. 161.98. Okay. Liz Punt should be backing in now on her tractor. Name of it's Extremely Wild. Rolling in the other track here. Should get started on that one soon, but in the meantime, we'll keep going here with the first of 2 heats in the Stock 16 class. Again, this is Liz Punt. All right, Liz went 166.63. Real good hook for Liz. 166.63. PJ Daly on High Expectations coming up next, followed by Paul Mulfair. And Dylan Warrenfelts will be up before Paul. So we got PJ Daly, Dylan Warrenfelts, Paul Mulfair, and then we're going to factory stock class next. Okay, PJ Daly. He got every last inch out of that at the end. 181.98. 181.98. That is a new leader. And that's close. He got a 181.98 to overtake a 181.07. That's how close that was. if you were one of the top 5 in the youth class, if you were top 5 in the youth class, they have something for you at the registration table. Oh. Next to the registration table on the stage there, next to the stage. At the winners circle, I should say. All right, so this should be Dylan Warrenfeltz coming back. We are restarting 4-boy class on track 1. So Logan Maughan, you'll be back up. Logan Maughan, 4 boys, get ready. (155.64) for Dylan Warrenfeltz. 155.64. And Paul Mulfair coming up to finish out this match. First heat of stock 16. $177.33 for Paul. We'll give you a rundown on that heat in just a second.
It's part-time. You're doing a good job. It's part-time. They're waiting on you.
All right, so this is factory stock class. Paul Mull fares up on his tractor in this class. These are nothing fancy on these tractors, and they're restricted at 3,600 RPMs. All right, he's first hook. Paul, you gonna keep that? Okay, he's keeping that. 16611. Hey, flagman, I need help here making sure one of the officials get across the track here safely. Thank you very much. Brandon Sowers Jr. Brandon Sowers Jr. on the wheel horse next with the orange sled. Again, this is called factory stock, and it's 3,600 RPM. Basically a stock tractor, no chrome wheels, nothing fancy, uncut tires, 10-inch rear hitch. .165.33. That's close. At 3.1 mile per hour.
Sleepy?
I don't think we're doing anything quite yet on the Poor Boys class. I think they're still working on that track a little bit, or working on getting that ready. John Sowers on his factory stock should be up next. Okay, we're pushing one out here now for Poor Boys. Let's see here. All right, is that Troy Shover? Or maybe Parker Rife, I don't know. Parker? No, Troy Shover? Thank you. Okay, John Sowers. Is working his way down the track on a tractor called the Mean Little Massey. Okay. 153.14 for John. Dylan Warren Phelps will be up next. And there's still Matty Rinker, please report to your tractors. Rinker to your tractors. Okay, we're about ready to start. '16 horsepower heat 2, Paul Mulfair, Midnight Express, Kevin Vance. Kevin Vance, you're after Paul. Carter Fox. Steve Swan. Pierce Dunham. Jesse Caudle. You guys are coming up. Nice hook, 161.53, 161.3. Hey Mark, are we keeping track of, I'm not keeping track. All right. This should be Paul Mulfair. He's the first hook in heat number 2 of stock 16 on his second tractor. In the first heat, and this is in the second heat. Let's see here. 177.89, Paul Mulfair. Paul's first hook in the class. He's going to keep it. Okay. Hey, Mark. Okay, they're restarting track 1. Okay. All right, who we got? Kevin Vance. Okay. Grounds for divorce. Uh-oh. He's going to rehook. Or before the restart line so he can drop back and get one more shot at it. Kevin Vance. Kevin's going to be followed by Carter Fox and Steve Swan. .11, 165.11 for Kevin. Carter Fox. Yellow tractor, that's a Cub Cadet. Next up in the stock class, he named his tractor the Cheat Code. 166.70, 166.7. Okay, we should have, he's from down around Orange, Virginia, Steve Swan on the Dixie Digger. One 170.86, 170.86. All right, this should be Pierce Dunham. Pierce Dunham on the wheel horse. He'll be followed by Jesse Caudle, Lawson Leeper, Will Gearhart, and Chase Miller. So far in the class, we got Paul Mulfair at a 177. Then we got Steve Swan at a 170. Carter Fox at 166, and Kevin Vance 165, and Pierce Dunham at 156. $168.25, 168.25 for Jesse Caudill. Good hook. We're going to have a brand new track here soon on the other side. Next up will be Lawson Leeper on his cup. $182.31 for Lawson Leeper. 182.31. Up. If you were in the Poor Boys class and was not allowed to run because you didn't have a fire suit, and you now have a fire suit, the class is restarting. So if you were in Poor Boys and needed a fire suit, and now you have one, please get down to the starting area for the restart of Poor Boys here in a couple minutes. Coming up next out of Carlisle, Pennsylvania on his wheel horse, it's Will Gerhardt. 15863. 15863 for Will. All right, next up, Chase Miller on Chasing Red. One 170.02, 170.02. Good hook. Jackson Caudle coming up next on Wild Wheelie. Another good looking wheel horse. Belt drive. Cub Cadets are shaft drive. Wheel horses are belt drive. Again, this is heat number 2. Top 7 from the first heat. Top 7 finishers in this heat will go on to a final round later on here. One 169.7. 169.37. Another good hook for a wheel horse. Up next is going to be Austin Yeager, Nate Arndt, Austin Weister, right, boy, we got the green sled and the track running good now. Now that was a test hook, right? That was a test pull? Andy, that was a test? All right, he looked at me. Oh. That was a test. Okay. All right. All right, track's good. Sled's set. Looking good now for the green sled. All right, over there for Boston, he went 158.28. Okay, so this should be Logan Maughan starting off our class called the Poor Boys. I believe these tractors run cut tire. They're allowed a little bit bigger carburetor. 12 horsepower. That's on the green sled. They're getting that one ready to go here. Then we got Nate Arndt coming up on stock 16. Blue tractor, orange sled. One 16758 for Nate Arndt. 16758. All right, now we got. So we're official now here on the other one. Logan Maughan coming up the track with the green sled on the freshly redone track. Slow and steady. .24, 140.24. Yeah, so that's a Mark, so we're keeping that one. Right, Mark? Yeah. Yep. Well, that's what we're doing now. Okay. Ashley Ahalt should be coming up next here on the green sled.
Driver fees on one of the tractors before, but then it's the way share, but it's the one share. Just in case you want it down.
173.37 for Austin. 173.37. Good hook. Doug Deal coming up next, followed by Will Gerhardt. Nice, 215.51, 215.51. And here comes Doug Deal. All right, 166.24 for Doug, 16624. All right, hooking up next on the poor boys class on the tractor called Ghost Town. This should be Corbett Scheuer. Corbin Scheuer, I believe, with a distance of 112.58. Coming up track 2 out of Carlisle, Pennsylvania, Will Gerhardt. Being helped tonight by Matty Rinker. After you get her done, 173.9, 173.98. Okay, while we're waiting on the next hookups, let me announce to you here in the first stock 16 heat. If you were in heat number 1 of stock 16, top 7 qualifying from heat 1, PJ Daly, Jimmy Stauffer, Paul Mulfair, Steve Swan, Liz Punt, Bobby Penwell, and Dylan Warrenfeltz. Caleb Kiefer. Caleb Kiefer is going to be our next hook here in Poor Boys. Doug Deal on his other tractor out of Smithsburg. This is called the USA. Doug's in staging back there. This is Caleb Kiefer coming track now with the green sled. Nice hook, nice hook. 218.30, 218.30. $162.99 for Doug on the USA. Sharp looking tractor. Doug with D&D Motorsports out of Smithsburg, Maryland. 162.99. Next up in the Poor Boys class, I think we're going to be seeing Roy Mon. It's going to take us a minute here to get things lined up here in our numbers, so bear with us here for Heat 2. We'll go over Heat 1 here in a second. Motorcycle class, you guys are lining up here, please, on track 2. Zach Knight. Knight will be coming up first in the motorcycle class, followed by Jake Phillips, Jenny Knuckles, Jay Morris, So we're watching Roy Mon end up with a distance of 201.79 on the bullheaded tractor. All right, so for Heat 2, top 7, moving on, Lawson Leaper, Paul Mulfair, Will Gerhardt, Austin Weister, Steve Swan. Chase Miller and Jackson Cole. That's your top 7 out of heat 2. Again, if you were in heat number 1, stock 16, top 7 qualifiers, PJ Daly, Jimmy Stauffer, Paul Mulfair, Steve Swan, Liz Punt, Bobby Penwell, and Dylan Warrenfelts. Those are your top 7 from heat 1. Heat 2, one more time. If you were in heat number 2, Lawson Leaper, Paul Mulfair, Will Gearhart, Austin Weister, where's 5? Steve Swan, Chase Miller, and Jackson Caudle. So now what, you gotta write them up, or? Those that I just called out that qualify from the heats will need to come see Liz at the registration table here in a few minutes to draw a number for your starting position in the finals. That's your top 14 moving to the finals. So if I called your name from heat 1 or heat 2, in a couple minutes you'll need to come over to registration, draw a number, and that'll be your starting position for the final 14 here tonight at the Franklin County Fair. Hunter Coots should be our next puller up there on the green sled. We're looking for motorcycle tractors. Zach Knight, Jake Phillips, Jenny Knuckles, Jay Morris, Denise Morris. You guys are all up. Go ahead with the motorcycle class. Here we go. All right, so that should be Hunter Coots there, right? That's Hunter. Good job, Hunter. With a 138.63, 138.63. All right, you should be watching Andrew Chapman coming up the track now. How about that? 228.11, 228.11. Great hook. All right, so this should be, all right, 99.93. Something happened to him there. That was Kevin Vance. Hopefully nothing major, but he was still past the restart line. Not sure if it ran out of fuel on him or what there, but hopefully nothing major. Our first motorcycle tracker went down the track there, but he was first hooked, and Ken has the option to come back, and I believe, even with him going out of bounds, I believe the rules say that he can come back, even though he went out of bounds. So I think that's what's going to happen here on that. Austin Weister should be up next on the 4 boys class here on the green sled.
off this line.
I'm trying to take them out of the middle because you're going to run into the wall here.
I should stay in the middle.
Yeah, because you have more room to run.
Yeah.
How about that? Open class, diesel power, 215.02. And Austin Oyster is out to 237.22, 237.22.
Depending on how they hook, you know what I mean?
What's that?
Depends how their tires hook.
Good job, Jacob. Jacob. Good.
Hey! Hey, Jake! It's about time. Well, it was empty, so I had to go fill it.
Okay, Connor Welch. All right. So Connor went 1.5.4. There in the four boys class on the green sled, and the Streaming motorcycle tractor went 150.28. I'm afraid to know what kind of wheel speed that thing had with those RPMs. Holy moly. Next up on the open side there, the motorcycle class should be Jay Morris. And we should have 5,000 governed twin guys lined up. 5,000 governed twins should be John Copsey starting off on the green sled. 5,000 governed twin, John Copsey. Tyler Hawk, Kim Reeder, Trent Dunham, and Wayne Lowry. Okay, poor boys finishing top 3. For the motorcycle power. All right, poor boys class has just finished on the green sled. Number 1, Austin Weisner. At 237.22. Andrew Chapman at 228.11. And third to Caleb Kiefer at 218.3. Those are your top 3 in the poor boys class. 5,000 governed twin, looking for John Copsey, followed by Tyler Hawk and Kim Reeder.
It's a good action shot to be running out of way, aren't you?
All right, Denise. That was Denise Morris. 210.05 for Denise. And she's got another one up after this one. All right, on the green sled here at some point soon, I hope. We got 5,000 governed twin coming up on that one. John Copsey should be first up. Next motorcycle tractor we got is Denise again. Denise Morris. There comes John on the General. Holy moly, where did John Copsey go? Okay, Denise went 2:22.02, and our first hook in 5,000 Govern twin went 2:42.48. But we're gonna, Andy and them are gonna have to tell me what they want to do there. Wayne, if you keep an eye on them for me, I can't hardly see them. Thanks. He's keeping it. Okay. All set. There, that was Zach Knight. All right, that was Tyler Houck at 219.26. Good hook. If you ran an earlier class and you were in the top of the class there when we called your names out, please see Liz at the registration table. She's got payouts ready over there. Top tractors in the class get some payouts, so please see Liz at the registration table. First puller in the motorcycle open class came back. 227.25 is his distance. All right. right, so that was Kim Reeder on Girls Have Toys 2, and she went a distance of 2:25.86. At 10.4 miles per hour. All right, motorcycle class top finishers. Zach Knight, first at 2:27. Denise Morris, second at 2:22. And third, Jake Phillips. I think that was the Diesel Caterpillar, 2:15.02. That's your rundown in the motorcycle class. We should be looking for Trent Dunham right now, hooking up in 5,000 RPM governed twin cylinder class, followed by Wayne Lowry. Uh-oh, hopefully just popped out of gear there on him at 162.17. Are we ready for the final 14, final round of the stock 16 class there on track 2, aren't we? Okay. So number 1, backing in, stock 16, final round, we're starting. Dylan Warnfeltz on the Swamp Donkey. Buzzer's going off on the orange sled. Top 14. Everybody get lined up over there, please, for the stock 16 final round. Wayne Lowry coming up on the 5,000 governed twin class on a tractor called Spirit. Wayne's out of Greencastle. Wayne took it up the hill at 2:54.06, 2:54.06. He's dropping, I see him over there, okay. All right, that was a 160.78 for Dylan, so he's gonna drop that. Thank you. Get ready for super stock on track 2 here, track 1, sorry, here next. All right, next tractor up should be Bobby Penwell. Bobby Penwell should be pulling in next, followed by Paul Mulfair on Midnight Express. Midnight Express is number 3 for Paul. Lawson Leaper on the Cub is up 4th. Liz Punt, 5th. Will Gearhart, 6th. Okay, 5,000 governed twin, Wayne Lowry took it up the hill to a win at 2:54.06. Second place, John Copsey, 2:42.48, and Kim Reeder at 2:25.86. Second puller in the final round of Stock 16, 161.79. All right, you're getting the sled ready down there for Super Stock? Yeah, he is. Super Stock's going to start with Kevin Root. Kevin's going 1 and 2. Nate Arndt, Logan Cessna, and then Kevin's got a third one. Carter, Steve, Dwayne, Doug, and Logan Colton. Super Stock single cylinders coming up next on the green sled. Got to give a shout out to Rinker High Performance over there. $180, new leader, $180, great hook for fall. Lawson Leaper, number 4 of 14, Lawson Leaper coming up. Getting the green sled ready for the final round here of the evening. That's going to be Super Stock Tractors. Kevin Root on his first of 3 in this Super Stock class will be coming out. First one is called the Hot Mess. Great hook, 190. 190.34, 190.34 for Lawson Leaper. Superstock single. Bigger carburetors or mechanical fuel injection on a single cylinder. Kevin Root, here we go. First puller in the class, 263.22. Liz Punt coming up next. Andy, he dropped? Okay. Oh, you reset. Reset, all right. All right, so 194.11 for Liz. 1944, great hook. Okay, up next. You want to... On a wheel horse out of Carlisle, Pennsylvania, Will Gearhart. .29, 164.29 for Will. Paul Mulfair. Paul Mulfair, number 7. And then that's going to be followed after by Chase Miller, Steve Swan, Austin Weister, and Jimmy Stauffer. That's your next couple here for the final round of stock 16. So we're resetting the green sled, going to stop the super stockers here a little sooner than 250 foot, 260 foot I should say. And looks like we're going to have Kevin, I guess we're going to have Kevin Root up again on his next tractor called the Heartbreaker. $177.63 for Paul. 177.63. Paul qualifies 2 tractors into the final here tonight. Chase Miller. Chase Miller hooking up, getting ready to go. He's number 8 of 14 in this final round over there at stock 16. And we're working on getting a super stocker going here. We need to do the super stock class. Okay, 167.48, 167.48. All right, we got a super stalker backed in now. All right, Steve Swan, you're up next. Oh, no? No? Oh, I'm sorry. .248.37, 248.37 on the Heartbreaker. Kevin Root. All right, this should be Steve Swan coming up here next. Nice hook, nice hook. 189.30, 189.30. $206.45 for Nate Arndt on the money pit. All right, we should have Austin Weister backed in. On the orange sled. Logan Cessna coming up on the Baby Smurf. $174.18, $174.18. Jimmy Stauffer, 18553, he's up there. We got a 194 and a 190 out in front. Then you got to be in the 180s. In this final, who's up next here after Jimmy? PJ Daly. So after PJ's up next, and then we're going to have Steve Swan, Jackson Caudle, and Dylan Warrenfelts. Kevin Root back on another tractor. Hey, if you're around the stage or in the pit area, remember we're going to need a little hand here. We could really use a hand helping to cover the track up here once we're done. A couple extra hands would really go a long way here to help us cover the track up tonight for tomorrow. Kevin Root went 252.13. And then we got PJ over there at 190. 190.96. That's going to be probably in the top 3 for that one. Carter Leaper, Superstock tractor coming out next. Sounds like one's fired up, I think. There he comes. And Steve Swan should be over there, hooking up. All right, Carter Leaper, a 234.86. And Steve Swan with a 191.12. 191.12. That was Steve Johnson. 233.31, Steve Johnson. Jackson Caudle coming up the track. Nice hook for him, 180.52, 180.52. And then we got one more. That's going to be Dylan Warren Phelps. Dwayne Gregg. Dwayne Gregg should be powering up here, getting ready to get his super stock in line. Again, if you're in the pit area, after we get off the track here, we're going to need some help to cover this track up in case of thunderstorms for tomorrow night's interstate tractor pull here. I want to thank everyone again for coming out here as we get close to wrapping up here. Coming out to the 60th anniversary of the Franklin County Fair. Tomorrow night's the big interstate truck and tractor pull, and then we have the bull riding rodeo on Saturday here. If you want to check out more garden tractor information, check out 4stategardentractorpullers.com on Facebook. $241.94, 241.94. For Dwayne. $209.19 for Dwayne. Doug Deal up next on Excedrin. Final round of stock 16. Liz Punt at 194, number 1. Second place, Steve Swan with the Dixie Digger at 191.12. Third place, PJ Daly at 190.96. Fourth place, Lawson Leaper at 190.34. And Steve Swan at number 5 at 189.3. Two 232.40. 232.40 for Doug. .0. Paul will take it over to you.
That's what he found. Okay, then. Let me cut this off.